July 25th, going before the judge, because my suit takes the position that you cannot legally modify the Mississippi Constitution this way. We think it spells it out fairly clearly.
Through a ballot initiative, as they're doing, or?
Yeah, defer to the lawyers to give it to you, but basically, you can't modify amend the Mississippi State Constitution this way. It spells out how you do it, and this ain't the way you do it.
The Farm Bureau will defend its ability to be put on the ballot, notwithstanding what Mr. Speed's lawsuit has to say as the reasons why it should be done or not be done from that perspective. And then we, as a group, along with hopefully several other of those groups that you mentioned earlier that have been involved in this fight through the years, and maybe even have some more, will come join in and say an amicus brief joining in saying we believe that this initiative must be put on the ballot in order to the last resort protection, because there is no other protection right now. I mean, when you've gone from 2002 to 2011 and the legislature has only acted together one time, and then that one time was then had a veto on it, which could not be overridden in one of the bodies at the end, then we don't have another choice for the people of Mississippi to protect their property. And it says in our Mississippi Constitution that whenever they see that the only way to protect their safety or their happiness, they have a right to alter the Constitution.
Taking somebody's homestead and that sort of thing. Very emotional. But we don't need to get dumb about it.
Well, how do you respond to critics like the Farm Bureau and the NFIB, their concerns about this might be an encroachment on small businesses, farmers?
Show me somebody that's a victim of the system that we've got now that's been working for 100 years. It's rather frustrating because it is such an appealing, emotional issue. Protecting people's property rights. Who can be against that? Surely not me as a property owner. But in Mississippi, we have a system that has provided both for protection of property rights and allowed us to assemble large tracts of land that have created the biggest operations, the biggest economic generators we have in the entire state.
Most people didn't realize after Nissan, in the Nissan Act that was passed back in, November 2000, I believe it was. In that act, the entire project area included the entire state of Mississippi. So the entire state at that point in time was under eminent domain authority of the Mississippi Economic Authority. The entire state of Mississippi. Under the current act as it's shown now, even for some of those smaller projects, it says that once you define a project area that's approved, the area includes a 65-mile area completely around it, and if you touch any county within that 65 miles, it includes the entire county. So when you look at a map of Mississippi and go 65 miles around and see how much area you touch, and then see basically you almost put a lien, in a sense, on people's property.
At the Nissan plant, there was one family that objected. All right, they still got their land.
The Archies? Or?
Yeah. This is, I mean, hello, the system worked. You got to go through 5 levels before you can do one of these big jobs. First one has to be the local public officials, board of supervisors, or the mayor and alderman. They got to say, we are ready to go with eminent domain. Secondly, the MDA has to say, we think that this is necessary. Thirdly, the Mississippi State Legislature has to act on it, the House and the Senate. And then the governor has got to sign it. And then the court system is there, if you aren't satisfied with the results that you get from the first four. So we've got a great system in Mississippi. Sometimes we get things right. And this is one time we got it right.
You can go out to Anaheim, California. There was a mayor out there that served from 2002 to 2010 named Kirk Pringle, and he is the former Speaker of the House of the California Legislature. But during that time, they were fixing to do a huge redevelopment of their downtown area, and they looked around the country as to what was being done. Should they use eminent domain or urban renewal type projects to take quick take or not? And they said, as a city council, and he led the effort, said, no, we will not. We will use market forces to do that. And that's exactly what they did out there. The entire Anaheim downtown, including all the baseball arena, all that kind of stuff, done without any eminent domain. And probably the greatest project people don't even think about that was done without any eminent domain was in the state of Florida.
Disney World.
Done by a guy named Walt Disney.
Yeah.